strategize together. Let's hear it from an expert. Join the conversation, it's informative and free. You and me, let's talk some strategy. Now here's your host, Dorien, Morin-van.
Hello, everybody. I am your host, Dorien, Morin-van, and we are back with Season 2 of Strategy Talks. Welcome to everybody who is here live. We would love to know where you are joining us from, and also what channel and what social media channel you're watching us on. We are live on YouTube, we are live on Twitter, we are live on Facebook and LinkedIn, all at the same time. So thank you so much to those who join us live. If you're watching this on the replay, a special shout out to you as well. Make sure you let us know in the comments you're watching the replay using hashtag replay. And that way we can say hello to you, even if you weren't able to be here live. And then a special shout out to our listeners on the podcast, Strategy Talks. We appreciate you listening, coming in and listening to our podcast every single week, to these recordings. And we want you to know that we know that you're listening and we provide the best possible content for you. Before I introduce you to today's guest, the first one of the new year, I want to do a special shout out to our sponsor, Social Insider. They are the intuitive dashboard for social media analytics, reporting, and competitors analysis for brands and agencies. If you need data, you need Social Insider. So without much further ado, I'm going to bring onto the screen with us today's guest, Joe. Hi, Joe. How are you?
Dorien, great. Happy New Year. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy New Year to you and to everybody who's watching and listening as well. So who is Joe? Joe Labor is a professional radio, social, video, voice, and branding talent. He has been brewing fresh media professionally since 1990. We're going to talk about that in a minute. He has a passion for brewing fresh, eye-catching, and ear-grabbing graphics for social media. Joe is currently brewing fresh media for many small businesses and nonprofits. And Joe, am I correct? You're in Ohio, right?
Yeah, Troy, Ohio, home of the Troy Strawberry Festival and winter weather.
All right, winter weather. Yeah, we were just talking in the green room. I had my jacket on and then I got really hot, so I took it off. But we're both in snow country, right?
Yeah. You much more than I.
Yeah, well, that happens. Since 1990, tell us what you've been doing, Joe, because you know, people who are on social media, you know, I can proudly say I've been doing it for 12 years.
Yeah.
I know a friend of mine in Michigan just announced he's been doing it for 20 years, which I didn't even think possible.
Yeah.
But here you are. You've been doing this since 1990. What were you doing in 1990? Joe?
Yeah, a media guy, a radio guy. I went to broadcast school to become a radio DJ, and in 91 launched right into it. And from radio, then became online, internet, and then internet became social media. And I was like, our radio station needs a MySpace page. And our boss at the time says, well, if you want a MySpace page, you do it, you launch it, you operate it, you make it happen. So I started doing it and started getting great responses. I'm connecting to the listeners in a different way. And pretty much every radio station I ever worked at, I would always be the social media guy, of course, from MySpace to Facebook to Instagram. And so media is all the same. It's telling a story, whether it's a radio commercial, a TV commercial, a billboard, an ad in a magazine, or a graphic or text on social media. It's selling or
all right. So, and that is a great segue into today's episode, Tell, Don't Sell. So I'm going to just launch right into the questions. What does tell, don't sell? What does it entail?
Yeah, so we all know the pushy person on LinkedIn that, friend requests you and then all of a sudden wants to sell you Bitcoin or their services of financial, advisory services or insurance. And you're like, wait, hey, hang on a second. We just became friends. We just met. And here you are trying to sell me something. Or you're scrolling down your Facebook page and there's like a business or an entrepreneur and all they keep posting is, sell, sell, sell. We're selling this, we're selling that. And it's like, wait a minute, hold on. It's kind of like too much selling and you ignore it, right?
Right. Oh, I
Yeah.
do. I do. I actually not just ignore it. I
Yeah.
usually block them or
Right.
unfollow
Yeah.
them, or I actually take action because it gets so annoying.
Yeah. So I encourage or tell my clients that we're going to tell your story about your vision, your mission. Maybe it's a problem you solve, a unique service you offer that's different from your competition. What makes you you? Why do people come to you to get their garage door repaired, to get their vehicle fixed? What makes you different? Why should they choose you to be their real estate agent? So I sit down with the owner and I have them tell me their story, their why do they do it? It's not to sell houses, it's to connect the people, it's to build relationships, it's to keep people safe on the road, it's to make sure people can get in and out of their garage doors safely and not be stuck someplace in the snow and can't get in, or stuck in their garage and can't get out to go to work. So it's more about problem solving, telling your story, and not selling a product, because you're selling an experience with
Oh,
a
I love
particular
that.
person. Yeah.
Very, very nice. So why is that? You kind of answer
Hmm.
that. The telling is better than straight up selling.
Yeah.
What have you found? Have you ever come across a client who is a little bit
Hmm.
ornery and says, I just want you to sell.
Yeah.
I just want you to, I want the numbers. So just,
Yeah.
keep posting. We have the
Right.
sale. We have the
Hmm.
sale.
Right.
What do you do? I mean,
Yeah.
is there a
Hmm.
way to solve that?
Yeah. So I guide them into, it's kind of my 2 out of 3 rule with that. So 2 posts or graphics should be telling your story or communicating your services or why you're different. Then that third one, you can hit them with a sale on jewelry, a sale on, garage door installation or this particular service that we're offering. But you also do it in a way that's not selling as far as like a hardcore like radio commercial in your face. It's telling somebody, hey, do you need this? Do you need, to surprise your wife on Christmas morning with diamond earrings? Would that not make her happy? Would you want a happy wife? She loves jewelry. We're selling diamond earrings, but we're starting them at 139, which but then the 2 previous posts were telling them about, hey, we clean rings for free and do free inspections. We have a fully stocked jewelry case. Some places didn't during the holidays because they couldn't get stock, or we're fully staffed. We're ready for you to come, purchase your Christmas gift or your birthday gift or anniversary gift. Then we hit them with that sell item.
Okay. All
Um,
right. That's a great explanation. Joe, I'm hearing that you work, which is
mhm,
great. So if you're watching
yeah.
this, Joe is an expert for he works with small local businesses and nonprofits. And I've been following you
Mhm.
for years, Joe. And I have to say this out loud, you have some of the best funny and witty graphics and stories and shares, not just for your clients, but you're one of the few social media managers who do this really well for themselves. And so if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, definitely
Mhm.
go, follow a cup of, what is it? A cup of
A cup of Joe
Joe.
Media.
A cup of Joe Media. I see the
Yeah.
sign behind you for those of you who
Yeah.
are watching. So go follow a cup of Joe Media, because Joe, where do you get this
Mhm.
inspiration? Is this your creative mind? Because
Yeah.
I see, and of course I follow you, and
Yeah.
I'm not getting sick of it. You're one of the
Mhm.
people that I'm not unfollowing. You're one of the people I just listened to one of your audio podcasts this morning, and I love what you share. I love the images. I love the witty copy. Where do you get your inspiration, and how can you share that
Yeah.
with our audience today?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you. I'm very humbled by your comments because I consider you a dynamic who knows what they're doing, somebody who knows how to get the message out. So you're an inspiration to me. I follow you and I enjoy your posts and get ideas of how to do things and why I should do things. So I think we teach each other, which is
Yes.
awesome. So I think it comes back from, so in radio, when you listen to radio, you hear what's called imaging, which is 5, 8, 10, 15 second, the big voice guy between the songs, not the DJ talking, but the person, whether it's a lady or a guy selling the station, what music do we play, who we are, how you can follow us, little witty, fun, quick little imaging bits between the songs. Well, at every radio station I ever worked at, I always wrote the imaging, and then I would send it to the voice talent. It would be voiced, and then it would be produced, and then you would be like, wow, in between the songs, here comes on this big voice guy having fun and saying different things. And so that's like just content creation quick. So then I considered a post on social media or a graphic that I create like an imager. You want it to stand out between the music, right? You want it to stand out between the competition or between the other post in somebody's feed. So if you can get a post to stand out and like stop the scroll, oh my goodness, it's amazing. So I come from that radio creative background where how much can you put in 5, 8, 10, 15 seconds, and how much can you put in a second in a graphic that somebody will be like, whoa, and then the text, so it comes from like the graphic, what people see that makes them stop.
That's really great. So you create the graphic first.
Yeah.
Yes. And so where do you get your inspiration? Do you have tools?
Yeah.
Do you have secrets
you
can share on how you, because, I watch a lot of social media reels and videos, and of course I'm scrolling, and so I take screenshots, and I have a couple other tricks, but I would love to know your tricks. How do you do it? Where do you get your inspiration?
So it really starts with talking to the nonprofit manager or the business owner, and what's your niche? What are you good at? What are you different at? So for example, in Ohio, salt on vehicles, winter, vehicles rust. Not a lot of auto body shops fix rust in my area. They like to fix the collision. But my mechanic not only is a mechanic for the engine under the hood, he has an auto body shop, and he specialties in fixing rust, which very rarely does any body shop do that. So I'm like, oh, so then I come up with a hashtag got rust, and then I will show rusted vehicles or rusted panels of vehicles, and then show the before picture and then the after. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I didn't know, Bodie's Automotive in Troy fix rust. They've been doing it for 30 years, but until you tell the people that they do it or show them. So I like to take personal pictures of my client's shop, them in action. And then, of course, if you can't get personal pictures, sometimes it's hard. I'm not available or they're not. I'll take an idea and swing it into Canva, and then I'll use clip art. And people are like, oh, don't use clip art. It's wrong. It's wrong. Everybody uses it. Well, it's how I use it. I come up with a campaign that's specific to the client. So that's different. I come up with, a bright headline and maybe a sub-headline text that's the campaign got rust, we're the rust busters, whatever it may be. And then actually customize that graphic for my client with their logo, their phone number, maybe their address. But more importantly, it's their services that they offer, or a specific service that they offer. Like my hairstylist, she just started an ionic foot bath service. Have you ever heard of that? Ionic foot bath?
No, what's that?
Yeah, so it detoxes you. It's a very relaxing service that you put your feet in this bath of hot water, and it has stuff in it, which I don't quite know what it is, but it's relaxing. It detoxes you. It takes out, all the toxins out of your body. It makes you feel energized. It's like a very much organic process. And so I'm like, okay, so I'll try it. And then you take a picture of me in the relaxing chair with my earbuds, listening to music, hanging out, because it's a half hour. You're in a room with some candles and some flowing, water. It's real just chill and relaxing. So then we put that on Facebook to let her clients know she has a new service, which so fits her brand that, that people know her as an organic person as very much sustainability, looking for ways to relax, to rejuvenate, and it's like, so then we put that foot bath.
Yeah. With Joe's feet in the foot bath. So
Yeah.
I just want, if you're watching this or if you're listening to this, guys, Joe, you are I can just hear the enthusiasm in your voice about working with these small business owners. I started out my career doing what you're doing. And I left that local feel vibe for larger clients.
Yeah.
But my love is for helping. And I have
Yeah.
two small local clients left. My love is for doing exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here going, oh my God, great ideas. Yes, I went to my clients. Yes, I tried their services. I love that. So I want to make 2 points. If you're a social media manager and you're watching this and you're in a content slump, go back and talk to the business owner. Have a meeting at the beginning of the year and do what Joe just told us to do. What is your story? Why did you start your business? What do you offer? And why do you love serving your clients? That's the first thing. And then as a social media manager, go support them. There's so many people out there, social media managers that have clients that don't really love them.
Yeah.
They don't really like them. They might not even like the product. Guys, I can hear in your voice, Joe, that you love working with these people because you love the local people. You are in the community. You're an influencer locally in Troy, Ohio. So if you're a content creator and you're struggling and you just want to go big, start small first. Do what Joe is doing. And in the green room, Joe, you just told me that you joined the local Chamber of Commerce. What happened when you did?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. The chamber's best for networking. And if you get involved with their networking events, and you start meeting people and interacting with people, they're like, well, I saw your video the other day, or I saw that post the other day. Let's sit down for coffee and talk about how maybe you could help my business. So then it just opens up channels for me or any business to sell their services or tell about their services to other clients and bring in new clients, but bring them in locally, people in my backyard, in my community, people that I can walk into and grab a Reuben sandwich or a pound of ground chuck or, a unique item or a couch or a shirt, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Support local, and to be able to sit down with a local business owner and tell them how they could use social media to broaden their customer base and to sell their services, to tell their story, is just so exciting because you can be more local that way, if you join like your chamber.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, Joe, you mentioned Canva as a tool that you use. That's a free tool, but you probably have the upgraded paid version. Can I assume
correct.
you do? I do too. Are
Yeah.
there any other tools that you absolutely love? I want to provide value for those who are working on a creation, a content creation strategy, especially in the new year. Is there any other tool that you use either for copywriting or image or video that you can share with those who are watching and those who are listening, so they can maybe check out something new?
Yeah. Number 2 tool under Canva is Grammarly. I'm a good writer, but sometimes my grammar and my spelling is not great. So Grammarly, and also scheduling posts and seeing the post scheduled and reading it to catch any errors. So free, you can do Grammarly for free, right?
Okay.
You can do Canva for free. So are you familiar with Grammarly?
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I
okay.
am. I'm using the free account as well.
Yeah.
And then what do you use for scheduling your posts, Joe?
My wife laughs at me. Nothing. I do it all by my brain. Like I have enough clients to where I can just literally just know what they want, when they want, and when to schedule it. I don't have a scheduling software platform. I use Facebook Scheduler. I do LinkedIn Live, and I do Instagram Live. And so I just juggle the graphics. And if I'm doing a Facebook account and an Insta and a LinkedIn for one client, that graphic or content will be spread over different days and times so that it gets more organic eyes and reach. I won't
Okay.
post the same content on the same platform.
On the same time at the same
Correct.
day, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
same copy, which we see,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Correct.
that's not good. So I want
Yeah.
to dive into something that I listened to this
Hmm.
morning. You're a radio guy,
Yeah.
or that's where you came from. So you do short audio. Do you call them audiograms? What do you call them? Podcasts?
Audio blogs or whatever you want to
Audio
call them.
blogs.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. So this morning, I'm not sure
Yeah.
when you posted it, but this
Yeah.
morning I was scrolling through Facebook and it showed up, probably
Mhm.
because you and I are linked today because you were
Yeah.
going to come live. And I looked at your profile yesterday. So Facebook was like, oh, Doreen wants to see Joe's content. And there was your audio
Mhm.
blog. And it was an
Mhm.
incredible analogy. And I'm not a sports
Mhm.
fan, so to speak,
Right.
or I don't really know these sports analogies, but can you do
Yeah.
a couple minute recap on
Yeah.
what that was about? Because I think this is brilliant and it goes really
Mhm.
well with tell, don't sell.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for listening. And it's kind of the question is, what's your social media batting average? This is to social media managers. This is to nonprofit managers or business owners who operate their own Facebook page or social media handles. So if you're a baseball player and you hit 300, you're going to make millions, and you're going to be like an all-star. You're going to be like, wow, people love you. You know, they're going to want your baseball cards and your autograph, and you're going to be beloved by all your fans. And you're thinking, to get to 300, you're going to really miss a lot of balls. You're going to strike out a lot. You're going to ground out a lot. You're going to swing and hit nothing a lot, a lot to get 300. So the social media batting average is, how many posts does it take to get a hit, or to get a home run, or even a grand slam? It takes a lot of posts. It could take 10 posts to get one that you're like, yes, this is the one that I think people will love, and they do, and they share it and they comment. And it's like, oh, I got a single or a double, or maybe this is the home run post. But if you didn't do the other 9, if you didn't step up to the plate and post the other 9, that one wouldn't have been successful. So you got to keep stepping up to, like I call it, the social media plate, and swinging away, being consistent with your post. Don't get discouraged if 5 or 6 are not great, but the 7th or 8th is. So even if you have 100 batting average, a 200 batting average, 250, 275, you know, you're still doing good because you're getting hits, you're making contact. But if you don't step up to the plate and be consistent at that plate, or hone your skills to become a better hitter or social media
Mm.
manager, you will just be on the bench. You may not even make it to the stadium. So, yeah.
I love this. I think this is brilliant. I've never heard anybody explain it this way, but it is so true. And you and I talk, this is about
Mhm.
organic social, right?
Yes, yes,
So
totally.
we are talking about
Mhm.
awareness campaigns, about
Yes.
being in people's feeds, about
Yep.
being consistent, having conversations, building community. And that's what you're
Mhm.
doing by showing local, living in the community and
Mhm.
showing locally. And I know this is how a lot of us got started. If you're watching and you're a social media manager, or you're, a content creator, a lot of us started out within our
Mhm.
community. And then some of us have moved away from that
Mhm.
community, but Joe is still really ingrained. And I can see
Mhm.
and I can hear in your voice
Mhm.
how much you love being in that community and you take
Mhm.
pride in being part of that. But this
Mhm.
analogy about baseball, I love the honing the skills. I love
Mhm.
the, being consistent and,
Mhm.
even striking out some.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to hit
Mhm.
because we don't
Mhm.
know what other people are doing at the time that
Yep.
you have this post going out. They might be eating the hot dog or being in
Yep.
the bathroom, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
might not be in their seat watching, or they might be on the field and,
Mhm.
catching it and throwing it right back.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, yeah.
they just looked at it and was like, okay, nothing happened here. So
Right.
instead of calling it going
Mhm.
viral, I love that
Yeah.
you have this baseball analogy, and that really brought it home. And I listened to it this morning. I'm like, that is what organic social is all about: being consistent, building community. So one last question for you,
Mhm.
Joe.
Yeah.
So for your clients, I know you just said
Mhm.
you really post organically, you
Mhm.
post live. Do you do
Mhm.
engagement for
Yeah.
them as well? Because since you know
Mhm.
them well and you live in the community, are you that voice for them
Mhm.
as well? Are you the community
Mhm.
manager as well as the social media manager?
To a point, some of them have okay websites that aren't really updated, or, they're not necessarily in front of the community because they're so busy. A lot of them are chamber members, so they become a voice that way. So, I try to make sure that when I hear or see my client on the radio or in the newspaper or doing good with a nonprofit, then I can connect that to their social media handles seamlessly. They are doing it, but they're not thinking about making that post, right? I see like, they, give back on a local radio station to a nonprofit. That nonprofit gets presented a check like every quarter, and it may be a picture that the radio station took of the check presentation of the owner of Hiddles that's on a third-party social media site. But, my business owner is too busy selling jewelry, repairing jewelry to even see that. So then I'll catch it, and then I'll share that post on her business page. So I try to make sure that when my business owners or nonprofits are in the media or in the community, if they're not doing it, then I try to do it for them.
That's great. That's good. That's good. And that is what we usually tell business owners to do, right? Be watchful. Right. But if they're busy and so, Joe, if I had a small business in the local community like Troy, Ohio, I would want you to be my social media manager because I can feel the care that you have for your clients. You really do. So how can people connect with you? A Cup of Joe Media. Where are you most active? And what kind of content do you offer?
Yeah, Facebook is my favorite platform. If you want to learn about me, it's just Joe Laber, Laber on Facebook. And that's just kind of a little bit about kind of me and my life. And it does have a little Cup of Joe Media spin on it. But then I also have a Cup of Joe Media Facebook page that I'll post. A lot of times it'll be a little social media blurb or a funny thing in advertising, or a Friday funny, or a positive vibe Monday, or I actually show some graphics that I brewed for my client saying, hey, thanks to so-and-so for letting me freshly brew this graphic or whatever. So, but generally, I'm on Insta and LinkedIn, but Facebook is kind of where I'm most active.
All right. So that comes to me with one more question. What you just said. So you're sharing some of your clients' content and say thank you to your clients.
Yeah.
Do you ask permission? Do all your clients want the people to know that you do their social media for them? Because sometimes we have non-disclosure agreements with clients. But you as a local social media manager, are you free to do that for every single one of your clients?
Yes, correct. So they know up front that it's almost like I tell them it's as a bonus. So, you can get into my funnel as a follower of, like, say I've got this many people that follow me at Joe Laber. I've got this many people that follow me at A Cup of Joe Media. Not only am I thanking you for your business, which I'm very thankful for, I'm also promoting you locally. And so so the ad is seen by more eyes. So I say it's just really a bonus that I post it occasionally on my Facebook page personally or my business page. And they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, you're going to get my ad to see more eyes.
All right, that's great. So if you work locally in social media, that's another wonderful thing to do, to be able to promote your clients locally. I know that when you start working with bigger clients or with larger corporations or even personalities, they usually don't want people to know that they have somebody posting for them. So it's wonderful that you can do that. And I can share that I've seen you do shout outs to your clients. One super, super last question. You love animals and you foster animals. I don't want to forget to talk about that. I'm a dog owner. I have 3 dogs. So tell us in like 2 seconds, what do you do for the animals? And I know you do that as a volunteer, correct?
Yeah, correct. Thank you so much. I love that we are heart animals. I do pro bono work for 2 shelters and a nonprofit that my wife and I, along with a bunch of friends, run, called Labor of Love Pet Rescue. It's a hospice care pet rescue for shelter pets. So think hospice for people. It's hospice or hospice for dogs. So I give a lot of my time to get dogs adopted, see dogs find their forever homes. And I do that all pro bono because that is like my calling. Like, I do some of my best work pro bono.
And I just didn't want to forget to tell people about it, because I think that is one of the most wonderful ways that we can help as social media managers with the knowledge that we have about media to help them get the word out for animals and get them adopted. So Joe, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who was here live. Connect with A Cup of Joe Media, connect with the Labor of Love. Is it Labor of Love?
Love Pet Rescue.
Pet Rescue. I follow them, so I know that all the wonderful things that you do. I'll be back next week with another episode of Strategy Talks. Thank you so much for being with us on this first episode of season 2. It's 2023. Very exciting. And Joe, I appreciate you giving us your time today. Bye, everybody.